Welcome to another episode of Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, CLUE, about a game or a list. And we're continuing my top 100 list. Today we're going to look at 90 down to 81. If you missed the first segment with 100 to 91, it's on the channel. But today we're going to look at the top 90 to 81 games in my collection or games that I have played. Opposed to last year where last year I made a list, but I included games I hadn't played yet, just with the anticipation of what I was going to play. But this year I made sure that my top 100 were all games I had played. It had to be games that I played. I did forget to mention in the last video that the number 93, The Great Fire of London 1666, is actually considered a medium level game, so it is a little bit harder than the casual level that I usually include on this channel, but I do have 4 games in the top 100 that are in that medium range rather than the casual level, which is light or light medium. They are basically in the medium level, not the medium hard or the hard, or not sure how it is, how they count it, but anyway. The Great Fire of London 1666 is a medium level game, and so is my number 90. Number 90 is a game I do not own, so I cannot show it to you. It is another Egyptian themed game called Fayum. Faiyum. Fayum. It was a Reiner Knizia game, or it's designed by a well-known game designer. Let's just say that, because I can't remember which one it is. Fayum is it's kind of like a engine building game. You start off with all these crocodiles, and you're having to settle places and farm and build outposts or cities or whatever, and trying to expand your region and your power. And it's basically ends up being mostly an area supremacy type thing, but you're having to create things, and the further you go out or the more you build up, you get extra recognition or points or something like that. Again, it is in the medium range, so it is outside of the casual level, so I won't spend too much time on that. If you're interested or you like Egyptian themed things, you can check it out. That my number 90 is Fayum. Number 89 is Pick Twist. Now, I have Pick Twist National Parks Edition. There's also a Pick Twist Bob Ross Edition. If you are a fan of the classic Bob Ross, anyone can paint videos. And the premise with the Pick Twist is everyone starts off with a picture all jumbled up. It's just 9 squares, but the picture is all jumbled up, and using cards to rotate or swap cards, you want to end up having it looking exactly correct. And the first person to do that wins. So there's several rounds, and each round you will place one of these cards denoting the one you want to move. For instance, see this one here? It's upside down. So you put the card about turning it 180 degrees, and when it's your turn, you turn it 180 degrees, and now it's exactly where it's supposed to be, in the right angle. That's it. That's what Pick Twist is all about. Recognizing what each of these cards mean, and that's all you can do, and you need to do them right. And just rearrange, picture, and this is actually the background picture of this one. You rearrange it, and whoever does it first wins. It's a simple game, a puzzling game of mixing and fixing. So that is my number 89, Pick Twist, either the National Parks or the Bob Ross edition. They play exactly the same, the pictures are just different. That's all. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. My number 88 is a big honkin' box. And a heavy one. And wingspan. Actually, I am very fortunate. A friend of mine who frequents Goodwill stores, secondhand thrift stores, she looks for antiques. She's a reseller, but she also knows that I love playing games and I love collecting games. And she came across Wingspan and got it, but she kept the price tag on it so that I would know that she did not spend a lot of money on it. She spent $3.93. Yeah, $3.93, and it's complete. I've played it, and it is complete. So yeah, it plays 1 to 5 players. I don't think I've done a video on it yet. Maybe I have, but I don't think so. It's been around for a while, about 3-4 years. Very, 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 very popular. Beautiful artwork. Beth Elizabeth Hargrave designed it, and the illustrations are by several people. Natalia Rojas, Ana Maria Martinez Jaramillo, and Beth Sobel. It's kind of like, yeah. Wingspan, it's a collection type thing, and a little bit of an engine builder. But you're collecting eggs, are basically the currency type thing, so that you can do things with them. They give you the permission to do things. The colors don't matter. Comes with a birdhouse shaped dice tower, and you roll the dice and then choose the dice that you want to use, and then the next person chooses, and then you go back and forth until it's time to roll some more. But you're collecting birds and trying to feed them, make them happy, whatever. And really, I haven't played it huge amounts of time, which is why it's only 88 in my list. But Wingspan, very popular, and less than $4. Wow. It usually retails, I think, around 60 or 70, and I've seen it on sale for like 45, 50 range. $4. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so that's number 88. 87, we go from the largest box in these, amongst these 10, to one of the smallest, and from one of the more complicated games, which is still in the casual range, to one that is absolutely super simple. Let me unhide the name. Lowdown the Dice Game. This is my number 87, Lowdown Dice Game. Very, very simple dice game. You roll dice. It's a roll and write. I'm shifting this down so you can see. You roll dice. Three of them, well, actually, two of them will have colors on it, and two of them will have numbers on them. And then the next person to your left will also have one with color and one with number. And they will secretly roll theirs while you roll the four that you have. And then you get to choose the color and the number that you want to put on your cards, or go blindly and say, yes, like, I want what's behind the curtain. Yeah. And then you have to put down the color and the number that you didn't see. The board looks like this. You have three sections. There's red and orange, green and yellow, blue and purple. And you're trying to fill in the slots, the columns or the rows need to either be three of a kind, or the three numbers add up to 10. And if you do that, you can cross out that whole row. For instance, in this example, they have a 5, a 2, and a 3. That's 10, so you cross it off. Here you have a 3, 3, 3. That's the same number, so you can cross it out. So right now, this person is scoring 12 points, and you want to end up with the lowest points. So my goal is always to try and fill them either as a column, or all of them as a column, or all of them as a row. And I do not do diagonal, because once you've done diagonal, you can't do anything, you can't get rid of anything else on that card, because you can't use the number more than once. I think of it as a cross between a form of bingo, kind of, and a form of tic-tac-toe, kind of, you know. But it's a very easy game, very small, compact, great, easy to teach, easy to play, and it is my number 87, Low Down the Dice Game. My number 86. Yeah. And number 86 is canvas. Canvas. I stuck the sticker there. It comes with this clear sticker which shines there, but it also says canvas on the top. There is no writing on the sides or even the top or even the bottom. So if you want to hook it up and hang it from the wall, it'll look like a piece of artwork. Again, like I say, this is my 86. Yeah, my 86. The premise is there are certain cards. Oh, sorry, I'm jiggling yarn time. There are certain goals to get points, and you're wanting to choose clear picture little cards that are like a clear plastic, but they each have some sort of element of a painting, drawing, or whatever on them, and you're going to choose three of them and put it on any background. The backgrounds are all the same. I mean, they're different colors, but they're just a background. And then using what shows up from putting these three together, you can get points from what's down here. So basically it's kind of like a hand management, a little bit of a set collection, because you're trying to, like, you might be looking for only one color wheel. So this one has two color wheels, so it would not get a point for the only one color wheel. But it looks like they can get you might be able to get points for pairs. And so you have these two are a pair. Sorry, these two are a pair, and these two are a pair. So you would get points for having two sets of pairs. Yeah, that's basically the game. Canvas is not a complicated game. It's beautiful, and the components are very well made and beautiful. And so, yeah, this is my number 86 Canvas. It came out a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure I've done a video on it when I first got it. So it's really a beautiful, not difficult game to play or get to the table. That was my 86. So my 80, oh, and by the way, I haven't been saying this, but because I keep on forgetting. FIAM, my number 90, I played for the first time this year. My 89, Pick Twist National Parks Edition, first time this year. Wingspan, I played for the first time this year. Low Down the Dice game was my number 46 last year and my 87 this year. Canvas was, let me see here, was my, oh no, first time this year. I played it for the first time this year, Canvas. And now we've caught up. And my number 85, my number 85 is a game that I had been looking forward to. Last year, I did not have it. It was new this past year. The company, a Japanese company, Sashi, has a game called Let's Make a Bus Route, and I always wanted a copy of that, but you could only get it in like Japan and the Orient. So they finally, because there's so many of us who really wanted that game, they created a version for the Western world. And so this one is called Get On Board, New York and London. So basically it plays very similar to Let's Make a Bus Route. You're going to be making a bus route. And there's a central board, and then each person will have their own paperwork over here. And what you're going to be doing is trying to pick up the right people at the right places and dropping them off at the right places, and trying to avoid traffic, and basically create the best bus route. So yeah, so it also, the New York and London can confuse some people because it is a 2 to 5 player. What it is 2 to 3 players will play on the New York side, but if you have 4 or 5 players, then you need to play on the London side. So it really depends on how many people are playing to which map you'll actually be using. So that is my 86. I'm keep on looking at my list. My 86 Get On Board, brought to the United States by Yellow, and we can see right way down here is Sashi. That's a little nod to the Japanese publisher who does these. So that's my 86. My 85. Or was that my 85? No, that was my 86. Now my 85 is a modern classic. It's a cooperative game, and I've got 3 different versions of it. Yeah, 3. But I'm just using the base game as representing them all. And in fact, I don't even think I have the Hot Zone versions on this list or not. Anyway, Pandemic came out like in 2013, around that time period, and it's a cooperative game where you the players make up a team of experts going around the world trying to eradicate and cure 4 different sicknesses. And you're trying to avoid them becoming a pandemic and taking over the world. Yeah, we know what that's like. So, yeah. So, pandemic is has a board and cards, and so you'll be using boards. The illnesses are little cubes, and they come in different color. The 4 different colors for the 4 different diseases. I mentioned hot zone, pandemic hot zone North America, pandemic hot zone Europe. They are smaller versions. For instance, North America is just basically North America, as a little bit of the Caribbean. So Canada, U.S., Mexico, and some of the Caribbean. The hot zones only have 3 diseases, and they have a much smaller area to work with. A couple little small changes in rules because of the smaller size game, but pick your favorite theme for pandemic. But I would suggest starting with the base game, pandemic, and then going from there. And again, it's cooperative, and it is my 85. 84. I'm losing count because I don't have them actually written here because I took off some, and so I'm kind of off by 1 or 2 on the number written there. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 84. Okay, 84. Pandemic. 83. This is here to represent 83. This past year, I moved from the Atlanta area to South Alabama, and I was looking for some to connect with some people to play games, and there's a group called, if you're in Dothan, Newcomers Club, and I noticed that one of their choices of things to sign up for was a canasta group, and I'm here like that was the only real game group. There's book club type things and monthly outings and lunches and wine tastings and all kinds of stuff, but the canasta group is what interested me because I've never played canasta, and I like to play games. I like to learn new games, so I signed up for it, and the group, it was the second group, and they wanted to start a group. My first meeting, they're talking about they want to start a new group of canasta players who aren't regular players, the new people, so that they could teach it to a new group of people. And so I signed up, and I have played canasta. We meet once a month, and we play for about 3.5 hours, just playing canasta. Now, of course, apparently every canasta group has a few little things that are a little bit different in what you need to collect and get rid of. I liked it enough. It's mostly just basically collecting sets of 7. 7 queens and 7 whatchamacallits, jacks, and 7 sevens, and 7 wilds, and yeah, it's collecting a bunch of 7s. You need, yeah, and different things like that. But I liked it enough that I went and I downloaded an app, and occasionally we'll play the canasta game on the app. It is different. It has a little bit different rules, different requirements to win a round or to end a round, and the number to win the game. but it still gives me a little feeling of what the group plays when we meet. So my number 83 is canasta. Interesting. My number 82, I have a couple versions of this. This is my Christmas edition, Patchwork. I also have Patchwork Express. This is representing all the patchworks. There are 4 for sure that I know of. The Christmas, the Halloween. Oh no, there's 5, 6. Okay, there's the original. There's Americana. There's Express, Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day. That's all I know of right now, and that's 6. So really, whatever theme, they basically play the same. There might be a couple changes in the Halloween one and possibly in the Valentine's Day one. But anyway, they basically play the same, so it really doesn't matter which theme catches your interest more. You're creating a quilt with polyomino shaped tiles, Tetris shaped tiles, and you will buy them with the currency for this version. For most of them, are buttons. I think the Valentine's Day might be hearts or chocolate or something, and I'm not sure about the Halloween one. But I do know that the other ones, it's buttons, and you collect buttons and then you spend them for different polyomino shaped pieces, and you place them trying to completely cover your quilt and bring in the most points at the end of it all. And that's just a simple 2-player game. It's only for 2 players. All of the patchworks are 2-player only. But that is my 82. And my 81, reach on down, is Bristol 1350. This is one of those games, is a series that they look like little books, facade games, and this is the Dark Cities. You have one during like the witch trials in Salem, Massachusetts. So there's a Salem in some year, and there's 3 or 4 of these that I think I know of. I'm sure there's at least 3, and there might be more. But Bristol 1350 is basically everyone is trying to get on a cart that's leaving town. Let me pick it up so we'll get that jiggly down, and I won't do that again. Everyone's trying to get out of town on a hay wagon without catching the plague. Everybody's dying in the city, and everyone's trying to get out of the city, but you're trying to make sure that you don't catch the plague, and you catch the plague if you have someone that's infected in your cart. So you're trying to throw people out of your cart or move into a different cart, and you want to actually be in the first cart that gets out of the city with no one having the plague on it. That's the main theme, is get out of town without getting sick, and be the first to do it. So that's the game. It's a simple game. It's a small game. And you have these little tiny little things, kind of like the little people in Life, the old Life game. Those little babies, the people that you would add to your car. Similar to that. And you have 3 carts that I think have 6 spots in each. So technically you could have like up to 18 people play this. Let me double check that. I want to open this up and look at the rules. No, 9. Okay. 9 people. There's 6 slots in each one. Where's there 4? Wow. Let me, I can't, it's been a little, oh, three. I'm thinking they're wider, but they're small. They're little. Um, yeah, these are the little pegs, the little people. Um, and you only have the enough for the 9 players. That's what it is. 9 players. Okay. But yeah, so that's my number 81. I first played it at the Dice Tower Retreat. My friend Bonnie had it. And so once I played it, I was here like, you know, this is not a hard game. This, I mean, you're just trying to stay in a cart and make sure you don't catch the plague from either a card or a person. And if you do catch the plague, then you want you want the first cart to get out of town to have the plague, because then all the people with plague win. Yeah, I have done a video on this, I'm pretty sure, because I remember saying that and thinking how when we played it, the last time we played it, most of us were healthy until the almost near the end, and then the first cart that got out had the plague, and the next cart could not get out of town within the next move. And that's the criteria. If another cart can get out of town, then the people on that cart would be similar to the first cart. And since the first cart was plague driven, ridden, all of a sudden, all of us healthy people were scrambling to try and figure out how we could catch the plague so that we could be on the winning team. It's a silly game, simple game called Bristol 1350. I want to avoid that plague. And those are my 81 to 90 of my top 100 games for me of all time. I didn't mention Patchwork kind of rode downhill this year. It was my number 6 last year, and it's my number 82 this year. That's a slide. But it's because I've played it so many times. It's kind of like, it's comfort food. It's kind of like, yeah, I like it. It's still my top 100, but it's because I'm not learning anything. I mean, I actually have the app and I'll play it on my app. So yeah, I played it yesterday or the day before yesterday, I think, on the app, because I can play it on my own solo. You need 2 players for the in-person one. So yeah, it slid from 6 to 82, but you know what? It's still great. And the other one I forgot to mention was Pandemic. Last year was number 87, and this year is number 84. So it actually went up 3 spots. That was, I think, the closest of all the ones that were on last year's and this year's. That's the closest that any one game was. So there it is, 81 to 90. Next time, we'll go from 71 to 80. And until then, have fun playing games. God bless you and your family. Bye.